Okay, let's not lose time and go on with that presentation. So, as you can see, my presentation today is about XDR, Microsoft Defender XDR. So, we will talk about two very specific technologies that I use every day and technologies that I strongly suggest to all my clients and students, of course. This is the Microsoft Defender for Endpoint and Microsoft Defender for Office 365. And the idea behind this presentation came from the fact that I see a lot of clients and a lot of students that they do not really know what you can actually do with these two specific technologies. And in case you don't know about it, Microsoft invested billions of dollars in security because after all, security was needed to protect Azure data centers and Microsoft 365 data centers after all. So they invested a lot of money into this technology. So we will talk today about, let's say, the basic email protection in Microsoft 365. We will talk about how can you enhance your email protection using Microsoft Defender for Office 365. I'll show you how to create Microsoft Defender for Office 365 policies and what are these policies actually. I will show you the very important threat analytics dashboard in Microsoft Defender XDR, and finally we will talk about Microsoft Defender for Endpoint and how you can onboard your devices in case you want to use the Defender for Endpoint technology. So let's move on and take it slowly from the first step. So you may know that as soon as you have your email on Microsoft 365 and you use Exchange Online protection, you have a very basic security that is available to everybody. As soon as you use Exchange Online, you use Exchange Online protection. So what is actually Exchange Online protection? Some basic characteristics. It gives you email authentication, it gives you 3 antivirus engines and some specific spam and anti-malware filters and so on. But what happens if you want to move forward from this and get some better security? The better security that you can get, and this is Microsoft Defender for Office 365, I strongly suggest to every customer to go and add this feature as an add-on. It costs around $2 per user per month. It's really cheap, but the protection that you get is really great. So Microsoft Defender for Office 365 integrates with 3 main security services. It actually uses Exchange Online protection because we know, as I told you before, Exchange Online protection is there for everybody. But what you can get Microsoft Defender for Office 365 Plan 1 if you want, or you can go for the Microsoft Defender for Office 365 Plan 2. And if you ask about the differences between these two different plans, I can tell you that Microsoft Defender for Office 365 Plan 2 has something called attack simulation training. Probably this is the topic for another presentation because we don't have the time today to actually see what you can do with attack simulation training. But what it does is this: it lets you create a phishing email, send it to the entire organization, and then check who clicked on a specific link or who opened an email attachment and so on. As soon as you get the report back, you know what kind of training you should give to your employees. Okay, so you create a phishing email. It's not actually a real phishing email, it's something simulated, but as soon as you send it to your employees, you can actually see what kind of awareness you have in your company. So Defender for Office 365 Plan 2 is about $2 per month per user. Microsoft Defender for Office 365 Plan 2 is about $5 per month per user. Okay, if you cannot afford to go for Plan 2, please go for Office 365 Plan 1 and you will not regret it. Okay, so the main, let's say, this technology, Microsoft Defender for Office 365, lets you protect, detect, investigate, and respond to threats that have to actually do with email messages. So, two technologies and two features that you can use in Microsoft Defender for Office 365 is the safe attachments and safe links. What you can actually do with safe attachments and safe links. This is the whole story. Once an email passes through the frontline defense of Exchange Online Protection, is actually here. Let me use my pen to design a few things here. So this is what everybody gets: Exchange Online Protection, multiple filters, free antivirus engines. So as soon as you receive an email message and it passes through this Exchange Online Protection defense, then it's analyzed by using Microsoft Defender for Office 365 safe attachments and safe links policies. Okay, what is really the safe attachments technology here? If the email message contains an attachment, it's being scanned into a detonation chamber. It's actually a sandbox. It's actually a controlled detonation. Okay, so what Microsoft does, opens the attachments actually and tries to run it and tries to detect if there are any threats in that specific attachment. Is it an executable? Let's execute it and try to see what happens. It has some kind of malware or elevation of privileges. Let's do what it does. If the attachment is unsafe, it's being moved into the recycle bin of the safe attachments features. Okay, and it will never arrive into the customer's mailbox. You know, I have some students in my courses that ask me, you know what, Chris, I'm using an antivirus for Outlook installed on the employees' computers. Yes, that's good. It's a good idea to use a local antivirus on your computer, but it's too late. If you have a malicious attachment that arrives into your mailbox, into Outlook, probably sometimes it's really too late. So this is what you can do with safe attachments. Another characteristic is the safe links. It will check any URLs that are embedded in an attachment in the message body, and if this link is safe, it's going to be presented into your original email message. If the link is a malicious link, it will never be displayed, it will be removed, and as if in any case the employee tries to click on that specific link, it will be scanned real time by Microsoft servers, and Microsoft will display you a warning message. Let's take a look at this. I want to give you an example about the safe links feature before proceeding with creating policies and do some demos about this. In this scenario, what I did is this. I have a Word document that has a message. This could be even an attachment in an email message. What the Word document says: good morning, please use the link below to verify your account. And actually this is a malicious link. Since I'm using Microsoft Defender for Office 365 and the safe links feature, when I click on that one, what do I get? I get this. Okay, and the employee is protected. This is a malicious website, is classified as malicious. Opening this website might not be safe, okay? And it gives you the idea that you should not open it anyway, okay? And as you can see, this is something powered by Microsoft Defender for Office 365, okay? And this is what the end customer gets when tries to open an attachment. In order to be protected by safe links, the protection is included in all the Office 365 applications. It could be a link in a Word document. It could be a link in an Excel file. It could be a link in a Teams chat message. Anywhere inside Microsoft Office 365 applications, the protection is there. Okay, so let's go on and talk a little bit more about the safe attachments. Okay, protect users from malicious attachments by using the safe attachments. So it's a feature in Microsoft Defender for Office 365, analyzes attachments that are common targets for malicious content. And let's take a look about how it really works, and I'm going to show you a demo about how we create safe attachments policies, but what the user will actually see when the policy is in place. So, as I told you before, the Safe Attachments technology opens every attachment of a supported file type. It could be a Word doc, a batch file, whatever is included as an attachment, in a special hypervisor environment. It tests each attachment by checking to see if it's malicious. So practically all attachments are executed or detonated in a virtual environment. This virtual environment runs different versions of Windows operating system. I don't know exactly which versions, don't ask me about that, but I'm sure that it's going to be Windows 10, Windows 11, whatever. So attachments are then analyzed to see if they execute malicious behavior, and then the appropriate action takes place. The attachment will be removed, and in some cases we see that the attachment is replaced by a text file that actually explains to the user that there was an attachment that was being removed through the process. Okay, so in order for this technology, the safe attachments in Microsoft 365 to work, you should create your policies. There is always one default policy there anyway, so practically if you don't want to create your custom safe attachments policies, you are still protected. Okay, when you create a policy, you have some specific options. The first option obviously is to keep it off. Okay, I want to create a safe attachments policy and keep it off for now. As soon as I want to turn it on, I can go and turn it on anyway. Monitoring is to deliver messages with attachments, and then it will track what happens with detected malware. Actually, monitoring will display the attachment to the user, and then will track what the user will do with this specific attachment, and everything will be logged into the security audit log of Microsoft Defender. The best action probably is this one. We may want to block detected attachments with malware. Okay, and this is more or less the recommended action. There is one more action that we can actually do. It's the dynamic delivery. What the dynamic delivery does, it will deliver the message immediately, but it will replace attachment with a placeholder. A message, or let's say an attachment that will say to the user, please wait, the attachment is being scanned now. As soon as the attachment is scanned, it will be attached to the original message. Practically, this is useful when we have a delay in the attachment scanning, but I've never seen that happening. It works like a charm. It will automatically scan the attachment and will block it if it's a malicious one. Okay, when you create the policy, you have some other options. You can redirect the messages with detected attachments to an administrator account in case that this admin needs to check a few things about that specific attachment. Apply the safe attachments detection response if the scan it cannot complete in case of a timeout or in case of a specific error. Okay, you can still specify some specific actions here. We will see all this during the demo when I'm going to create a policy. In any case, what the end user will see with a safe attachment policy is this. Let me find a sample message here. Is something like this. Okay, I'm sure that everybody receives email messages like this one. Okay, so invoice payment from Alpha Bank. Alpha Bank is a Greek bank anyway. Okay, from a actually fake email address, a malicious email address. Good morning, this is the payment that you did this morning from Alpha Bank. Please confirm the delivery of the payment and things like that. So what the end user will do, he will try to open that specific attachment. But as you can see, since Defender for Office 365 worked on that specific case, the attachment, the original malicious attachment was replaced by a text message. And if you open that text message, you get something like this. Okay. Malware was detected in one or more attachments included with this email message. Action. All attachments have been removed and the user still knows what really happened. Okay. This is the result of what the end user will see when you use safe attachments policies. So let's go to the first demo and create a safe attachments policy. So I will move to my browser here. This is the Defender XDR portal. The URL is security.microsoft.com, and what you can see when you want to create a safe attachments policy, you need to go down here to email and collaboration and go to policies and rules. And as soon as you go into the policies and rules, you have an option here to go to the threat policies, and when you click on the threat policies, you have two specific policies here that you can create. These three, anti-phishing, anti-spam and anti-malware, are the default policies for Exchange Online protection. As I told you in the beginning, everybody has these policies anyway, but we want to use these two specific additional ones. So let's click on the safe attachments here and see what policies are included. There is always a built-in protection. There is always a default policy here. You cannot disable it. It's there anyway, but let's go to create a new custom policy. I've created that one, but I'm going to create a new one just for you to see it. So you click on the create. You need to name your policy, my test safe attachments policy. Okay, you can put a description if you like. Okay, in this scenario, you need to specify to which users or to which groups or to which domains you want to apply this specific policy, meaning that you can have different safe attachments policies for different users or for different groups with different settings, of course. Okay, so for this specific scenario, I'm going to use my systemplus.gr domain, my company domain. Okay, meaning that I will include all users and all groups that belong to that specific Microsoft 365 domain. We click next, and here is what you can actually do with the settings. As you can see, initially the policy is off, meaning that attachments will not be scanned by safe attachments. We don't want this. Monitor, deliver the message if malware is detected and track scanning results. This is probably the best option. Block current and future messages and attachments with detected malware. And the dynamic delivery is another good option for you to use. Immediately deliver the message without attachments. Reattach files after scanning is completed. Okay, so let's go for that one. Block malicious attachments. And then, since all of these specific email messages with attachments will be put into the quarantine of Exchange Online, you have to specify the correct quarantine policy. Admin only access policy for the quarantine means that only the administrator will be able to go to the quarantine and check these email messages. Okay, you can change it to default full access policy if you want. Default full access policy means that everybody will be able to access the quarantine, but you probably don't want to do that. And the other one is the default full access with notification policy. Still, every user can actually go and check the quarantine, but it will send a notification to the users and to the administrators. Since we are talking about attachments and probably malicious attachments, the best option could be that one, admin only access policy. So only the administrator will be able to go and check all these malicious messages and attachments. And then, if you want, you can enable the redirect, but take a look, the redirect only supports the monitor action. If you click the redirect option here while blocking attachments, it will not do anything. Why it's so important for the monitoring option here? Because you want to redirect all these malicious messages and attachments to an administrator. So actually here I could use my admin account. Okay, and you click next, and that's fine. We've created the policy. I'm not going to create this one because I have already some other policies in place anyway. Keep in mind that the built-in protection policy is always there, but you cannot disable it. It has the lowest priority, but I strongly suggest to go and build your custom safe attachments policies with all the settings that you actually need to use. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is the safe links protection in Microsoft Defender for Office 365. What is this? Safe links is a feature in Microsoft Defender for Office 365 that protects users from malicious URLs that are commonly used in phishing attacks to extract sensitive information from a user. So what it does, when a user clicks a link in a document, and as I told you before, that link has to be in a Microsoft 365 application. A link in a Word document, a malicious link in an Excel document, a malicious link in Outlook, in an email message in Outlook, a malicious link into a Microsoft Teams chat or wherever in Microsoft Teams anyway. Okay, so when the user clicks on that specific link, it will redirect everything to a secure server in the Microsoft 365 environment, and the server will check that URL against a list of known malicious websites. And we've seen before what is going to be the result. The user will get a warning message that says, okay, don't go to that specific web page, it's dangerous, it's malicious anyway. Okay, so as we've seen in the safe attachments policies, the same thing needs to be done here. So you need to create safe link policies in Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Okay, so keep in mind that when you enable Microsoft Defender for Office 365 in your tenant, there is always a default safe links policy there that applies to everyone in the organization. Okay, you can stay with this. If you don't want to create any custom safe link policies, you can still go with the default one, but you may want to create your custom safe link policies with some specific settings. So some of the settings that we will see through the demo is to apply safe links to email messages sent within the organization, real-time URL scanning for suspicious links, that's a good one. Okay, wait for URL scanning to complete before delivering the message. This is related to Exchange and Outlook. Do not rewrite URLs. Do the checks through the Safe Links application programming interface only. Track user clicks. That's really a very important thing, because you can have the idea of if any user actually clicked on that specific link. And another one that is a good one is the let users click through to the original URL. So the user will get the warning as I showed you before. Okay, I believe I've closed the browser, never mind. Okay, but if we want to still let the users to click through the original URL, we can still do it. Okay, and another thing that we can do if we like, it's to customize a little bit that warning page, display the organization branding on notification and warning pages, filters priority and things like that. So let's move on and see one more time what is the end user experience. This is what you get. Okay, this website is classified as malicious, and an example that happens, something that happens all the time, it's this one. Someone sends a user an email message that contains a URL to a website. This message flows through the anti-malware pipeline, and assuming that it passes all the initial checks, it eventually arrives in the recipient's inbox, and the user clicks on that specific link. And this is what the user will get. If the link is safe, it will open into the browser. If the link is malicious, it will get that warning page. Okay, as simple as that. And another thing that I want to tell you is we don't really care about what browser the user is using. It will work with any browser, even the default browser that the user selected in the Windows operating system. Okay, so it doesn't care about what browser you use. Okay, so let's go and create a safe links policy to see how things work here. I will go back to, again, to show you where it is, email and collaboration, policies and rules, threat policies, safe links here. Okay, and as you can see, there is a default policy, the built-in protection policy. It's always there. It works for every user in the organization, okay? But if you want, you can create your own custom safe links policy. I've created one, but I'm going to create a new one just for you to see how it works. So let's create a new safe links policy. My safe links policy. What users do you want to include? Groups, domains, as before. I'm going to use my internet domain in Microsoft 365 here. So you click next, and then you have all the options. And let's take a look here. Okay, the first part of the policy is related to email. Okay, so if you click on that one, you actually enable the safe links policy for emails. Safe links checks a list of known malicious links when users click in URLs in email. Okay, apply safe links to email messages sent within the organization. That's really also important, because we don't really care only about the external email messages that we receive. We care even for the communication that happens inside our tenant. Apply real-time URL scanning for suspicious links and links that point to files. Wait for URL scanning to complete before delivering the message. And if you want, you can stop rewriting URLs and do the checks via the Safe Links API only. Okay, so this part is just for Outlook, let's say, for Exchange Online. The next part is about Microsoft Teams. And for Teams also, you should turn this on. Safe links checks a list of known malicious links when user clicks links in Microsoft Teams. So actually, if I put here in the chat a malicious link and you click on that one, if you use Microsoft Defender for Office 365, you will get a warning page. And the last part of the policy is to include safe links, in all the Office 365 applications. Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint, you name it, whatever. Okay, so then the last part is this. Do we really want to track user clicks? Yes, we do, because we want to get the idea of what our users do. Okay, do we let the users click through to the original URL? Probably no, because we still want to protect the users. If you let this on, the user will get the warning, but the user will be able to click to this actual URL, although the warning message will tell them that this is not recommended anyway. And if you want, you can choose to display your organization branding on notification and warning pages, logos, and things like that. So if you click next here, what about the notification? How would you like to notify your users? Use the default notification text. This is the message that we've seen in that web page. Or you can write your own custom notification text in any language that you like. We are Greeks, so we should type a message in the Greek language to actually warn the users that this was a malicious URL, don't click on that one, and so on. Okay, and that's it. That's the policy and how it works. Okay, so let's go on to explore something very, very important in the Defender XDR. This is the Threat Analytics console in Microsoft 365 Defender XDR. And I selected this specific console to show it to you because it's really, really important and makes the difference. Okay, so what is the Threat Analytics dashboard? Is this one what you get actually. The Threat Analytics dashboard summarizes all the threats that are now today active in anywhere in the world. Okay, so you can check what are the latest threats, what are the high impact threats, and what are the highest exposure threats. This is very important because I call that specific console the Wikipedia of cybersecurity. And I'll explain to you, I show what I mean for this. Okay, so let's move to the demo and check the threat analytics dashboard. What do you need to do is you need to go back to Defender XDR, and let's do this. You need to go to the threat intelligence options here and check the threat analytics. So we will leave it for a while to load all the information, and what you get is something like this. But I have a very specific point I want to show you, so let's wait for a while. Okay, here we are. So what really happens in the world about cybersecurity today? This is what really happens. Okay, so the latest threats are listed here. Okay, and you have another long list here about all these specific threats: actor profile, pitch sandstorm, actor profile, vulnerability profile, and all these threats. And as you can see, you can click on a specific latest threat to get some more information. Let's go to that one, the first one. The information that you get from this dashboard is really gold. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It takes a little time, some time to load. Okay, it didn't load correctly. Let me click again. Although I believe that something is happening now with that specific tool. Let me try to open it into a new tab. Yeah. So this is what information you get. Okay, what is this actor profile? Okay, related intelligence and related events to that one. And the good thing here is you get the analyst report. You get all the information that you need to know about that specific new threat. Okay, February 2026 update, July update, targets, 6 industries: communications, defense, education, and so on. But the best part is that you immediately know if there are some related incidents in your tenant, in your company. The question is, am I really affected by that specific actor profile, by that specific threat? No, we are not, because we can see that we don't have any active incidents. Okay. Are there any actions that I need to do in order to protect myself, in order to protect my company about that specific threat? Yes, there are some recommended actions that you need to do. You still completed the 63% of the actions, but there are some other actions that you need to do. But as you can see here, 0 impacted assets, techniques, and so on. But here, what you can actually do is this. What I need to do, what are the recommended actions that I need to do in order to protect my company from that specific threat? So you click on the recommended actions and you have a long list of all the actions that you need to do. So you can see that I've already completed some actions, and let's take a look at these actions because they are really interesting. Create safe link policies for email messages. So you need to do that in order to protect yourself. Okay, I've did it already for that specific threat. You need to create a 0-hour auto patch policies for malware. I've done this already. You need to create safe attachments policies. Yes, I did this already, and so on. There are some actions that I need to do, I need to address, as it says here, in order to protect myself. And let's click on the first one to see about how we can do that. Okay, so I need to do that specific recommended action. When you click on that one, you have a general description about what you really want to do. You need to enable Microsoft Entra ID password protection to Active Directory to protect against the use of common passwords. Okay, the implementation status is this. So I need to go and implement Microsoft Enter ID password protection. And what is the user impact? When I do this, is it going to affect my users? Okay. The potential impact associated with implementation of these settings is dependent upon the existing password policies in place, but there is a chance that all of your Microsoft 365 users will be affected. But the next question is, okay, I want to do it. Can you show me how to do it? Yes. Click on the implementation and get all the actions that you need to do. If you need some specific Microsoft 365 license and product, it tells you that yes, you need Microsoft Defender for Cloud Apps, and you have it already, you have the license, you have the product anyway. In order to do this specific action, the recommended action, just go here and follow the guidance. Download and install this one. Okay, download it and install it. After the installation is complete, log in to that as a global administrator, go there, do that. So you don't have any excuse to not to do it. It gives you all the recommended actions that you need to do anyway. And then you proceed with the second one, with the third one, and as soon as you complete everything, you are still protected about that specific threat. Okay, so let's go on and talk a little bit about Defender for Endpoint. As I call that product very often, the Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, it's the actual antivirus from Microsoft. But it's not only that one, it's a kind of agent that connects your users' devices with the whole Defender for Endpoint suite. Okay, what you can actually do, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint can integrate to Windows Defender in Windows 10, Windows 11, okay, and get all the information about endpoint behavioral sensors, cloud security analytics, threat intelligence also. Let's go a little bit back to explain you one more thing. How the threat analytics dashboard knows that my protection is this. Okay, it gets information from different places, but it also gets information from Microsoft Defender for Endpoint and the actual information from my devices. Okay, Windows devices, Windows 10, Windows 11, whatever. Okay, another thing that I want to show you related to Microsoft Defender for Endpoint is this one, is the secure score. What is the secure score? It's a score that lets me know how secure is my organization. Okay, in order to go to the secure score, let me find it. It's here under the exposure management, and if you click on the secure score here, it gives me some kind of, let's say, an evaluation. My Microsoft 365 environment is secure by 58.36%. Okay, my identity gets a 50% secure score, data, devices, applications, and so on. But the next thing is you can actually go to the secure score and get all the information that you need about how to better secure your environment. Okay, and as you can see, it shows me that the secure score of my organization is 58%, but there are still some recommended actions that I need to do. There are things that I need to go and actions that I need to do through Microsoft Defender XDR. Okay, if you want to see all the recommended actions, you can go here and check it one by one. What I need to do: turn on Microsoft Defender Antivirus Real-Time Protection, turn on Firewall in Mac OS, and actually it displays me Mac OS because that specific computer that I'm using right now, it's a Mac OS computer. I've done it on purpose because I want to show you that it does not only work with Windows, it works with other operating systems as well. And the information that is displayed here is the result of the Microsoft Defender for Endpoint agent that I installed on my Mac OS computer. So in case you don't know how to do it, it's the same story. How can I turn on Microsoft Defender antivirus real-time protection in macOS? Because I have it already. Defender for Endpoint is already installed on my macOS computer here. So what you need to do, okay, it tells me that I have one exposed identity. This is my Mac computer, but it will also tell me, in case that I don't know how to do it, how to turn it on, it will give me information about the implementation. Tells me that the next steps is to go to vulnerability management recommendations and read the relevant security recommendations. And if you click on that one, it goes you to this actual specific recommendation and tells you what do you need to do. What I need to do actually, you need to ensure that Microsoft Defender is turned on with passive mode disabled and that real-time protection is enabled. For more information, go and check the documentation. And actually you can open the Microsoft documentation and see how to actually do it. There is no excuse, guys. The documentation is there. Just go and follow the steps. Everything is here. What do you need to do is displayed in every detail here. Okay. So let's check the time. Okay, we have still some more time. I've started talking about Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, and let's move. We've already did that one. We've checked our secure score, and let's talk a little bit about the actual product, Defender for Endpoint. So I will move again to my Defender XDR portal. If you want to check your Defender for Endpoint information, you have two places to go and check it. You need to go to Endpoints here, okay, and check this specific dashboard. In this specific dashboard, we can see that we've implemented devices and security by using MDE. Okay, you can still use it by using Intune if you want, or Configuration Manager. Okay, but the next place where you should actually go is the assets part here, when you can see the entire device inventory. As you can see in this tenant, I have just one computer. It's my Mac Mini computer. Okay, all devices, computers and mobile devices, network devices, I don't have any, IoT devices, I don't have any, uncategorized devices, nothing here. So if you go back here, and assuming that you have installed Microsoft Defender for Endpoint on Mac OS, you can click on that specific computer and get some additional information. Keep in mind that all this information that you get in this specific device inventory dashboard is produced, it actually came from the Defender for Endpoint installation on my computer. So what is the kind of a computer, operating system, IP addresses, all the information, MAC addresses, whatever. But the next good thing is you get the no known risks information here, so you know that you are secure. The Defender for Endpoint agent is active on that specific computer, but let's see if there are any specific incidents and alerts for that specific computer. Another interesting thing that you see is that the exposure level of this computer is low. There are probably some recommendations, some things that I need to do on that specific computer to be secure. But if you go down here, you can see that you have two logged on users. Okay, that's me, and that's the root account of in Mac OS. If you go here, you can see if there are any incidents and alerts for that specific computer, and you can change here the range of the dates. For the previous 6 months, I don't have any incidents or alerts. You get the timeline. The timeline is actually a list of what happened on that specific computer. Take a look at this. What you can do with Defender for Endpoint is this: all the actions that are created, that are done in the computer, you have a long list. Okay, everything that the user did and everything the operating system did. The next good thing is the security recommendations. What I have to do to keep my computer secure, and here is the list what you can actually do. Okay, let's say I need to update Apple QuickTime. So probably I have an old version of the application. I have the 40 client on my Mac, but I need to update that one. And as you can see, you get information about applications and what do you need to be secure. Okay, set minimum password length to 14 or more characters and things like that. Okay, the same story. If you don't know how to do it, you can click on that specific that specific action, and it will give you what you need to do to remediate the whole thing. So the information is there anyway, just go and follow the instructions. So let's summarize things, because I can see the guys are looking at their watches here. Okay, so, and to complete with that presentation, thank you very much. I'm open to questions now, if there are any questions.
Christo, a big thank for your presentation, very professional. I'm stuck here, and I was laughing when you show us the score. You don't want to see my score in my 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I've seen some real IT professionals that have a secure score of something like 98%. Amazing. But they followed all the recommended actions that Defender XDR gives you.
No, I think I need at least a decade to take this course.
Yeah.
A decade at least.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have any questions in the Q&A.
I cannot see any question, so yeah.
Christo, a big thank you. I will wait to see you soon in person here or Thessaloniki, in Athens or Thessaloniki.
Sure, yes.
A big thank for your presentation, for your valuable help to everyone. Let's move quickly to the next slot. We have Adonis in the next slot.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Christo.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.